Okay.
Okay, we're good.
We're good.
Okay, thank you.
So just start out with an introduction. Give me your name, that you're a consultant in the PACS program at Latane Hospital, and okay.
An introduction, just a small
Yeah.
introduction.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, there's no action. And
No, and then
just
you're
go.
looking at me.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Dr. John Kanyi, a general surgeon at AIC Latane in Kenya. We are in the southwestern region of Kenya. Currently serving as a general surgeon, consultant general surgeon at the AIC Latane. It's a mission hospital in Kenya. I also serve as the assistant program director for the PACS general surgery program. We started the program in...
Wait 1 second.
The sounds.
I didn't realize this is too close.
No, it's too noisy.
It was in the photo.
Okay.
I think that's good. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So you can continue.
Okay. We started our general surgery program in 2020, the PACS general surgery program, and at least so far we've graduated one cohort. I am saved, I'm married with 3 children. I live here with my wife, and we live in the compound of the hospital with my wife and children, yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what made you want to become a doctor?
Okay. Yes. For me, when I was young, growing up as a young person, I grew up in a sort of like an environment where teaching and education was sort of like the thing that we had within our family. My father was a teacher. My brothers and sisters, all of them are teachers in the teaching profession. So I knew I wanted to do something that would do related to teaching. Initially, I graduated towards being a lawyer, but when I entered high school, it was during the season when Benny Carson had released some of his books, The Neurosurgeon, and it was widely circulated in our school. After going through his content and whatever he had achieved, and looking back at his life, yeah, so my personality felt more like being a medical doctor rather than being a lawyer. So that's when I made a decision I would want to become a doctor. So I made a decision earlier on in high school. And thank God I was able to go through the system and be able to be admitted at the University of Nairobi to do medicine. We did 5 years, and now here I am after finishing the PACS residency program at Tenwick.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
So did you grew up as a Christian? Because you were a Christian, have something to do with you wanting to be a doctor, or you wanted to be able to help people?
Yes, I grew up in a Christian family. Yeah, my mom was actually a deacon at one of our church. I'm in the Presbyterian Church, what we call the Presbyterian Church of East Africa. So it's part of the Presbyterian Church Global. So that's where we grew up as a family. I got baptized at around, I think I was 8 years old. I got saved when I was 14 years old, when I was still in early high school. So for me, taking care of the less fortunate, taking care of the people in our community, taking care of people who are sick, was sort of like ingrained in me when I was growing up. I remember a story. I remember a day when we were going to school, and a drunk person had drunk the whole night. In the process, had climbed on top of a house, and he fell off from the roof of the house down. So when we came in, when we were passing by, we were school children. When we were passing in, we found he was screaming in pain. He had broken his ankle. That was the first time to see a bone exposed. But I was stoic, and we were able to assist him a little bit to move him over to somewhere where he could get now help. Obviously, the initial inclination was to run away, But I realized, yeah, he needed help. I think he had slept there the whole night with a broken ankle.
Wow.
Yes.
How did you first hear about the PACS program, and what made you want to join PACS?
Okay. The first time I heard about the PACS program was when I went to Tenwek. We have an elective term when we were doing our medical school where we would go to specific hospitals to get sort of like a training while we were still in medical school. So I was fortunate enough to go to Tenwek for an elective term. It's usually like 2-3 months where we would there go to different departments. Originally, I was scheduled to go to Tenwek and I did medicine and obs-gyn. I wasn't, we were 8 of us. I was among the people who were selected not to go to surgery. But in the process, I heard about the surgical program that they were planning to start. At that time, Dr. Agneta had not even started the program, so they were considering starting the program. So when I worked with Dr. Agneta when he was still in PEDS, I saw the dedication that she was in. She was somebody who would take cerebrospinal fluid samples and take them to the lab and look them under the microscope, and then come back and say, yes, we have meningitis and we are going to treat. I'd not seen that before. Usually you'd hand them over to a pathologist or somebody else. I saw when you were working with her resuscitation patients at night, I saw that heart and I said, this is a surgical program that I would want to be in. So when they started on the program, I knew I wanted to be part and parcel of that journey. I wanted to be incorporated in that journey because I wanted to be a surgeon who incorporates their skills, improve on their skills, and also their spiritual life, and integrate it so that they can do excellent care to the patient. So when the patient goes home, he has a wholesome care. He leaves the hospital feeling somebody took care of them holistically rather than just physically, whatever the ailment was. So that's when I heard about PACS. They had not started, but here in Kenya. But when they started, I wanted to be part and parcel of that process.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yes.
So is the fact that PACS is not only medical training with excellence, but also discipleship, the 2 tracks, did that attract you to the program?
Yes, that was actually the primary attraction to me. That you had two goals: that they're going to train you to become a missionary. We are a missionary of some sort here in AIC Litain. Train you to become a missionary and be excellent in becoming a missionary. I remember a few of my older colleagues had started the PACS program and actually quit and went into mission work. So it's something that we were ingrained in terms of becoming a missionary. Apart from that, now being excellent was also another thing about it. I also wanted to ensure that you are excellent in your skills. So it's one of those things that attracted me to PACS. And I thank God I was able to go through that system and get those principles in my life. Yes.
That's great. Looking back, what was the most important part of your resident training with PACS?
I think for me, obviously residency is it's a difficult journey. I hadn't anticipated it was going to be that difficult in terms of calls and those other things, and even the times that you have to wake up. You have to wake up at 5, you get at your workplace at 6, you work the whole day until 6 in the evening. So the amount of work that you needed to do. But some of the interesting highlights that I had on the PACS program was apart from now the general surgery team is incorporating now the subspecialties. I remember one of the visitors that had given me a book on a neurosurgeon in California who works in California, and I'd gone through the book. I said, wow, I would like to meet this person. Funny enough, in a few months' time, he came over. The same neurosurgeon who had written the book. And I was like, wow. And I worked with him and we had a blast. We enjoyed ourselves with patients. He was an excellent surgeon, and I enjoyed that bit. I worked in different subspecialties, ENT and other things, and orthopedics. Dr. Galat and Dr. White with general surgery and Dr. Spears. They were great mentors to us, and even the people who were ahead of us, they were great mentors to us to ensure that we grew as surgeon. It's difficult for me, I'm a silent person. I'm usually more reserved. It's difficult for somebody to pull that out of me, and they were able to do that. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Can you share a story about a patient that left an impact on your life when you were a resident or recently?
Okay. I think one of those stories that I will share one of the stories about a patient that we had here at AIC Litain that had an impact on me. It was a patient that the gynecology department had done a transabdominal hysterectomy, and they went through a midline incision. Went in and they did the operation. The operation was successful, but the patient developed an incisional hernia. Had a big defect on the abdominal wall. I think their fascia had given way, so the patient had a big defect like this. So after they had done with him, the patient postoperatively, they sent the patient over to the general surgery department to see if we can do anything about it. Initially, we usually leave them for longer, for 6 months to a year before you say you're going to operate on them. But they kept on saying, please fix for us, do something, do anything that you can to fix for us, because the relatives didn't want to be walking around with a binder for a very long time. So after 6 months, I said, maybe I can give it a try and see if we can be able to do the operation to see if they can fix it. The problem was that when we went in, the case had, the adhesions had not matured. Basically, the surgery was not yet ready to be done. So when we went in, we found just everything was stuck on the abdominal wall. So wherever you make an incision, you go into bowel. So basically, the case turned out not to be the case that you wanted to be able to fix. Now it's something now to see if what you can do. Yes, I did create flaps and be able to close it, but I knew it would break down because you had gone through bowel because everything was stuck. The patient complicated definitely because of he got infections on the skin, but eventually healed well, and then eventually part of it gave way. So the defect was now smaller, but part of it had gained way. The advantage is that I'd gone with him and talked to the patient earlier on in clinic, prayed with the patient and explained the procedure to the patient, and I'd gone through the journey with the patient throughout the recovery process. And even when we encountered difficulty in theater, I went back and talked to the patient in the wards to ensure that she understood where we were and what I was my expectation for the surgery. So like 2 months down the line, when she was coming back to clinic now for reviews, at least now the incision had healed, but there was still a defect. He came in with now a big group of relatives. Now they were the children and the brothers and the sisters. They wanted to stone me. Okay, not stone me, but they were very angry. They were like, why did you do this operation? And now he still has a defect. Yes, the defect was this big. Now it's become this small. Why did you do this operation? The people who were with me, even the resident, everybody ran away. They were like, this is going to be difficult. But I soldiered on because I knew I had talked to her and we had gone through the journey together with her. And she was the one now explaining to them what we actually did and why we needed to do a repeat operation, maybe in a year's time, after being with them for like 30 minutes trying to convince them why we were doing this and why we did it and why the outcome was not satisfactory. We were able now to come down to a consensus, and everybody was calmed down. We were able to pray, and release the patient. Subsequently, the patient, when he came back later on, now we were able to have a laugh and say, yes, yeah, you had a big group of people who wanted to kick me, but thank you for saving me for that day. And she was grateful. And we've kept now contact with her, and it's been a journey. So it was a difficult case. We had a complication, but through the complication, God's word was shared to the group. And that to me was a victory. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
What motivated you to return and serve on staff with PACS?
Okay. During my training program, I knew, as I said initially, I knew I wanted to be in education. I knew I want to be one way or the other in the training of a surgeon. So I knew either it's going to be here or elsewhere, I will eventually train surgeons. So I knew from the word go, as soon as I finished residency, I would be training surgeons. I don't know where, but when I came in here, we were with Dr. Blasto, and he was a year ahead of me. So when we were trying to set up our program, things here, and do the practice, the surgical practice itself, an idea came to us that we needed to think about starting a surgical training program. So initially we talked to the people who are our trainers, Dr. Steffes, Dr. Spears. They actually came here to try and look at our case volume, see other things, and see if we were a fit program. We were able to get now Dr. Valentine to join us and stuff, so that at least now we were 3. Now we could be able to start a proper program. And when I saw that the progress had been made, initially we got our license, I think like 2 years earlier before we started actually the program. But we said we have to ensure that everything is, our paperwork, everything is on okay, so that when we start the training program, it will be excellent. So we were the initiator, and we wanted to ensure that we were able to train a new surgeon. So it was part of our dream to train new surgeons. We were very, we would say, mature program or something. We hadn't even stayed for 5 years in our practice, most of us, so before we started the program. So it was going to be a challenge. But having strong people who are backing us and encouraging us throughout the way, Dr. Kia and the others. Dr. Kia actually took me to Bongolo to go and see a surgical training program so that we were able to have some idea what a program would look like. And when I came back now, it was crystal clear that what we wanted to do was to do this training program. So I knew I would be part of this growth of PACS to ensure that we have a training program. And I'm glad to be in it. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So what excites you about training the next generation of African surgeons?
What excites me is the aspect of seeing somebody going through the process, somebody who is untested and going through the program, trying to acquire skills. Now, not only just acquire skills and become excellent, but also encourage their Christian walk. Because most of the training programs, they would abandon you. That portion of your family, your Christian walk, becomes an appendage that nobody wants to talk about. But in this program, we are able to incorporate now spiritual curriculum together with the skills training. And every time when I would see even the previous cohort and even the ones that are currently here, the one who was Dr. Peter Opondo, as he transitioned from being now a timid resident into a confident resident who is able now to do cases, when you see him in the theater and he's commanding a presence in the theater, you are glad. It makes your day. So for me, seeing people being transformed and becoming now excellent surgeons and being able to own up their care and ensure that the patient receives the best care possible with the skills that they have, and also take care of them spiritually, for me, that has been a great joy for me. I feel fulfilled for that particular purpose, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So what would you say to people, how would you say thank you to the people that are supporting the PACS program, particularly your training?
Yes. I would say you've done a marvelous job. You've stood with us for a very long time. For some of you has stood with us even before the program started, and you've been with us throughout this journey. You've heard stories of residents all over Africa, in Ethiopia, in Malawi, in Kenya, that have done great things in this. Keep on that bit of supporting us. For every shilling, every dollar that somebody gives out, it goes a long way to build and mold a complete African surgeon who is grounded in Christian values. So it's something that we would pray it keeps on expanding. I know we are currently over 100 plus trainees in the program, the PACS program, and it's through that single dollar, $100, $1,000, those small bits of it that people have poured in their lives, that people are now able to be trained. And even as we graduate, in the next month, we'll be graduating our second cohort. We thank you for that work. That's a great thing. Those people go in and impact the whole country, the whole region, and these are the people who can cover even different sites. They are able to work in places where it's difficult. There are places where getting a doctor, even a doctor, a medical person, is difficult. You'd go thousands of kilometers to get a medical doctor. These are the people who will be able to go that journey and be able to integrate in those communities well. So training Christian surgeons for Africa, I think has been a great journey. And I think I would say thank you to PACS. You've been with us and you've continued strengthening us. So I would say that you continue with the same journey. I know obviously sometimes finances is a challenge, but keep on the faith. We are there with you, and we are glad to be partners with you in fulfilling the mission for PACS. Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Wow, thank you. Well, I think you've answered. What is the long-term impact of PACS on the African continent?
The long-term impact of PACS is huge. As I looked about PACS, as we talk about it, when they started the College of Eastern African of Surgical, College of Surgeons of Eastern Africa and Central Africa, which covers over 14 plus countries in the almost two-thirds of the African continent. When that program started, PAC has been a great influence on it in terms of even the training curriculum, the curriculum itself, the examinations. The residents in PAC's trained programs have usually been some of the excellent people, and the people who are actually championing on the training of these in this COSEXA region. So PACS has been an integral part in building up the surgical practice and expertise in this region. I think it's an integral part of COSEXA. So for me, I think, and to come now to a granular level would be the number of people who now are serving in difficult regions, in underserved areas, has grown exponentially. And I think most of the PACS residents, as you speak, and who have now become PACS graduates, currently work not in big cities, but in places where they're actually needed. And most of them still demonstrate that heart. When I meet some of them, even in Nairobi, when we're going for a Brackenhurst conference, you'd hear them talk about how big PACS is and how it has influenced their life in terms of their practice. So PACS has been a great help to some of us. This region, I know the town that is close to us, Kericho, when the physician, the pediatrician, they have difficult cases, they would say, take it back to Litein. The PACS guys will sort it out. When Kapkatet, which is close to us, is 5 minutes away, when they have difficult cases, they will say, go and talk to those guys in the PACS trained guys in Litein. They have the expertise to sort it out. So we've been sort of like an integral part in this zone. When people are having difficulties, they would come to us. I remember even the surgeon in Kapkatet, they would say, when I have a difficult case, I'll call you to come and help me. So we are part and partners integrated in this community to ensure that we provide excellent care. And when the patients come back and say thank you, it's always a pleasure to be of service. So PACS, the impact, I think it's significant in terms of surgical practice. Even the Surgical Society of Kenya, its impact and influence, and the current president is actually a PACS graduate of the Surgical Society of Kenya. So that's how big PACS is in Kenya and even the region here.
Wow,
Yes,
that's exciting.
yes.
Do you have the opportunity to pray with patients or read the Bible with them or share the gospel? Can you talk about that?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do have a lot of opportunities to pray with patients, and the best place we usually have time to do that will be at the clinic, when we are able to now. When you're trying to go through what you're going to do with the patients in terms of the procedures or post-operative after you follow the map, so you're able to sit down with them. At least you have now more time where you can sit down with them one-to-one, them with probably even a single relative, and able to talk to them. To some extent, we are a mission hospital, so patients, when they come in here, even the current inpatients, when they come in, even the current inpatients, they come in, they already know that the gospel of Christ will be shared to them. Sometimes we do have, we're able to sit down with them and talk to them in case there's a complication, in case they're going to surgery, you're trying to get a consent and ensure that you talk to them, and then also talk to them about Christ. We also have a very robust chaplaincy program here. So the chaplaincy program has been also of great help to help us integrate. Sometimes the residents, when they're coming in, they are not primed in sharing the gospel. With the chaplaincy program, we help, they're able now to get that confidence. And also the curriculum that we have, the spiritual curriculum program that we have, that we've been trying to go through with the residents, we're able now to integrate that into sharing the gospel to the patients. So yes, we've been having those opportunities in the ward and in the clinic, and also in the theater. Usually in the theater, not as much, but wards and clinic most of the time, yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to share
Uh,
that we haven't covered?
One of the challenges that we've been having here as a PACS training program, a general surgery training program, has been the lack of opportunities for subspecialties training. It's something that I know the residents might not echo it, but something that I think I've noted. We've tried sending them out to different sites, but we don't have a proper credible program that we are able to send them, so that we ensure that people get the things that they need to get for the subspecialty training program. So that has been a challenge. I've been thinking of going back to go and do urology, so that we have a different subspecialty. So apart from general surgery, we do urology also as a subspecialty, since we have orthopedic here, urology. And eventually, the pediatric surgeons also requesting also if they could talk to the administration and see if we can get a pediatric surgeon here, so that we can have a pediatric surgeon, a urologist, and even a neurosurgeon. Because I think Tenwek and Kijabi are now training neurosurgeons. They will need to go somewhere. So when they're going somewhere, this will be a center that they can go to. So apart from sending them out to do subspecialty training, to do rotations, I would prefer if the consultants would come here and we do the training here in-house. We are thinking of currently chairing the theater expansion team. So we are thinking of expanding the theater spaces, so that at least we can accommodate those subspecialties in the facility. Yes.
Now, PACS is 30 years old in February.
Yes.
What is your vision for the future of PACS?
The vision for the future of PACS is that my view is that all these graduates that they have been training, we would like to see a multiplication of those programs, so that we have tons and tons of programs that all over the African continent. I remember there used to be that story about Malawi having 8 surgeons when the program was starting, and I think there were 2. There were actually 2 surgeons in Malawi that long ago when the PACS was starting on. But right now the numbers blown is in good numbers. we still have a big challenge in terms of numbers. Even as a country, I think we are currently at around 600 surgeons total, the whole of the Kenyan country. So